Hey guys, I need help. I feel wildly lost, and I know I'm just grasping and hoping for any semblance of help I can get. I've been married for 4 years. I love my wife passionately. She's the best thing to ever happen to me. One thing to know about us is that we're both really bad at making friendships and connections with other people, so when we do make them, we tend to really dive in and try and develop them. I can relate to that. Well, about a year ago, my wife made a friend at the gym. He has been what I thought was a good friend to her over the last year, but unfortunately, she admitted to me last month that she has developed strong feelings for him that she can't ignore, and she thinks she needs to explore things with him. She hasn't yet, and he hasn't said anything, but she feels she needs to. She says she loves me, but that she feels like her feelings for this guy are so strong that she is afraid this is the universe telling her she might be with the wrong guy. I'm monogamous, so I'm not down for opening our relationship or poly or anything like that, but God, I don't want to lose her. Please tell me what to do to make this right. I am so fucking sorry that you're going through that.
Holy fuck. Like, I can't
Yeah.
imagine, like, if Brittany had come to me with that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which is probably why I don't let her join a gym. No, just kidding. We don't join gyms because we're fucking lazy. Yeah, I legitimately, I couldn't, I don't know how I would react, right?
Yeah.
Like if that was brought to me by the person I thought I was going to be spending the rest of my life with. So I can't say that like I understand where you're coming from because I can't fathom that. But if I was to put myself in your shoes, I would say I would say I would probably have to let her go. Like if she's developed feelings for someone else, even her telling me that she loves me, I would still look at it like from myself. I would still look at it as, okay, you love me, but not enough. And I know that seems harsh to say, but it is kind of the reality. Like if she loved me enough, she wouldn't consider, well, one, she wouldn't develop feelings for this other person, and she wouldn't consider pursuing it. Like if I was enough of a person for her, and that's not to say I'm not enough of a person. I am for me, but you know, other people will always form their own opinions, you know, on how they relate to other people. And especially if, like you said, like you and your wife have difficulty creating lasting friendships. So like there is the potential that maybe she's just putting too much into this friendship she's developed with this person because she just doesn't have many of those. So she's kind of overloading it. That's a possibility. But yeah, I think for me, I'd be pretty crushed, I'd be pretty heartbroken. And I would say, well, like, look, if this is what you need to pursue, like you could pursue it, but I'm not going to wait for you to figure out what it is you want out of life, because what I wanted was you. And if that's not what you want, then, you know, we're not on the same page, in which case I got to go find somebody that is on the same page and then kind of go from there. Like it's, you know, you got to rethink and recalibrate what the future looks like. And I don't envy you having to do that. I'm, you know, on the flip side, you could tell her like, hey, I'll wait, let you figure out if this person is who you think they are, and I'll be here if they're not. That's you. That's a call that you would have to make. I think for me, that'd be a little tough. I think I would always think of myself as like the backup plan, and I don't really want to be anybody's plan B. You know, I want that person to want me just as much as I want them, or at least as much as they can give me, you know, and I would be happy with that. So, I don't know, man, like how would you deal with this?
Well, I think a lot of people are going to really disagree with both of us on this because I'm not that different from you. And that's coming from somebody who, like, for me, having dug into polyamory so much, obviously not like experiencing it, but digging into understanding it and what it means and why people are drawn to it and why people choose that relationship style. And obviously having my closest friend right here in the house who is polyamorous and having like learning so much from her, it's like, I understand that a lot of people have that feeling where it's not just one person. Like there's so much of me that would love to believe that there is just always just one person that we're all destined to be with. I don't believe that anymore. And it's funny to say that knowing that, my best friends in California are so clearly meant to be together. I just don't necessarily know if I believe that like there is only ever one person. I just happen to think, or I think that they just happen to found a perfect match for each other.
Yeah.
Like you two clearly are each other's perfect match. But for me, that doesn't convince me that there's one right person for everybody. So saying that, like, I can understand people having feelings for people outside of their relationship. I can understand there being confusion around it. And I can even understand, like you brought up, maybe confusing the strong feelings that she has for this person, the affection that she has for this guy, from a friendship standpoint, confusing that with something romantic because she doesn't have a lot of friends. Maybe she has no guy friends or whatever. Like, I know the strongest, setting aside my kids, the strongest feelings that I have for anybody on this planet are my friends. Family as well, obviously. But like, I would fucking die for Liam in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but would you kill?
I would. I absolutely would. But like those, I've never confused it for romantic feelings, but it's such a strong, like powerful feeling and connection that I could understand if like you hadn't had that. Like I've had it for 20 years now. I know what it is. But like if you hadn't had that before, I could understand being confused, especially if it's somebody who is a member of like the gender that you are sexually attracted to. I'm sure that could be confusing. I also happen to have had a lot of really close woman friends over my life, so I also understand the distinction and like feel it viscerally. So it could be that, and maybe it's something. I'm given the advice that I don't know that I would follow, but maybe that's something to where you and she need to work through figuring that out, not via her going in exploring things with him, but maybe through therapy, maybe through conversations, maybe through her doing a lot of soul searching, maybe away from you, but not like in his arms. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
whatever that may be. But at the end of the day, my gut, like deep down in my soul, what do I think needs to happen? I think your marriage is over. And I fucking hate that for you. I'm so the kind of person that believes that marriages should not be together just to be together. And I think, yes, you should absolutely fight and go through the hard shit together and work through it and not give up just because things are tough. But for me, I can't imagine being in a marriage knowing that my partner wants to explore things with another guy and knowing that I only have eyes for her. I think that would fuck me up. And I don't know, like, again, from my standpoint in life, I don't see myself being with somebody for like in any kind of a long-term relationship. But if I were to be, and if that person was like, no, I like this other guy and I want to explore things with him, I don't think I could do it. And I think for you, from what I hear out of what you're saying here in the text and like reading between the lines, I don't think there's a shot in hell that you are going to be cool with being with somebody who has feelings for somebody else. So I guess if I'm wrong and you want to have that conversation and see if maybe this is her, like, confusing feelings, then work through that together and get right into therapy as soon as possible. Get as much help as you can sorting through that. But otherwise, my gut says this marriage is over. And I still encourage you to get therapy because it's going to be a fucking rough road. And I won't even try to sugarcoat it. It's going to be hard as fuck. So I wish you the best, for real.
Yeah, I mean that's good advice. Like get a marriage counselor or like have her see a therapist, if it is a solo endeavor, so she can kind of work through those feelings in like an unbiased environment.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's really good advice. But yeah, dude, like, can you imagine though, like if you were like on this podcast, we're sitting there like, well, for 20 years we've been best friends and for 19 of them, I really was confused and I thought I was in love with you. And, you married a woman and I don't know how I could handle that. Like that's how we found out our friendship is over because we're this question. So thanks, listener. You're ruining
Thanks,
things
help.
left and right.
Your
No,
marriage is over and so is our friendship. Like,
Oh, God, we're assholes. Well,
yeah, well, people
we
knew
never
that
said
coming
this
in.
was good advice.
No, and we never said we weren't assholes, so. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm sorry. And again, I want to say this again. No matter what happens now, whether your marriage works or not, fucking please go see a therapist. I know a lot of men are like reticent to go see a therapist for whatever reason, because of society or whatever. Fucking go see a therapist. I can't tell you enough how helpful seeing a therapist was when my marriage was ending and I didn't know it was ending because we were just like, wait, why aren't we getting along anymore? Clarence, I want to break up again. Like when we were like just kind of lost, therapy was helpful for that. But also when we decided that our marriage was over and we were just going to be friends, it was so helpful in helping me transition through that. So even if it's not like I'm going to see a therapist forever, even if it's just a transitional thing, I highly encourage you to see a therapist. You just got to find the right one. Try to avoid religious ones, even if you're religious. And I'm not shitting on religious people, but even if you're religious, a secular therapist is going to be able to give you the best tools that are based on science and medicine. And the religious tools can come to you from your whatever, religious leader you have, but definitely secular therapist.
You know why I won't go see a therapist?
Because you're a dumbass?
No, it's not a masculinity thing at all. I'm afraid that a therapist will tell me I'm a psychopath.
Well, they will. You don't have to be afraid.
No, honestly, I really do think like they'll either tell me I'm a sociopath or a psychopath, and I would rather live in bliss and not know than to be told like, oh, absolutely, like you're a card-carrying psychopath, and then I'd have to be like, fuck. That is 100, because like I don't know if this ever pops up like on your TikTok, but it's this thing where it's like, if you can solve this riddle, you may be a psychopath or you may be a sociopath. I always answer them. I always get them. Always. And I'm so like, oh man, there's really something wrong with me. Oh no. Maybe that's why I like those Only James books too much, because I can identify with the characters.
I mean, here's the good thing about that though. Even if you found out, it wouldn't change anything.
No, that's true. I'd still be exactly who I am, which apparently would be a psychopath. So fucking there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why you say that just because, like, the basic fucking traits, but like, yeah, knowing you, there's no shot in the world. There's no shot in the world.
You better hope, or 20 years, you're going to be like, how did I not see the signs?
How did I not know? Yeah, right.
Clarence.
Like I would give a fuck. I'd be like, no, that makes sense. It's fine. Anyway.
that tracks.